guys, it's Marc Zicree of Space Command, also known as Mr. Sci-Fi, on my YouTube channel, and I'm here to tell you great news, great stuff to tell you about. Okay, first of all, we're sending out your stuff. The stuff you ordered during the Kickstarter campaign. We're sending out t-shirts, posters, my gosh, patches, lobby cards, trading cards, a whole bunch of stuff, all Space Command stuff. And we're not yet sending out some of the larger items like the models of the Paladin or the timepieces or watches, but we will be getting to that in the next few months. Obviously, we're not sending the movie out yet or the making of the movie book because I haven't finished, but we're getting there. And so there's lots to tell you about. So first of all, please watch this video, listen to these details. Because it's really important stuff. So, the materials have been made: the patches, the posters, the lobby cards, the trading cards, with the signed scripts, the signed copies of the Twilight Zone Companion. We'll send out the scripts and the Companion shortly, very soon. But we are immediately now. We're mailing out to the U.S. and the Canada backers first. All that stuff. So, and then next we're sending it out to the international backers, the ones, you know. And by the way, this is my Occupy Mars t-shirt, which I got at SpaceX when they gave me a tour. Very exciting. Mars is the stepping stone to everything else. So first of all, so that stuff is on its way. If you're in Canada or the United States and you don't get your stuff in the next few weeks, please email us. There's over 200 of our backers that we don't have the current information on. They didn't respond to our many emails. We've been sending out emails. We've been tracking down people. We've been trying to get everyone's contact info to make sure they get their stuff. So if you think we might not have your email address, etc., please contact us. We want to make sure that everyone gets everything they ordered. Secondly, we're working now to finish the first 35 minutes of the 2-hour Space Command pilot. The wonderful team that did our trailer, Threshold Films in New York, they've now relocated to Los Angeles, and I've pulled the trigger. I've hired them to generate all the visual effects shots, the color correction, everything for the first over a half hour of the Space Command pilot. As soon as that's done, we're going to send it to you in a way that you can watch it maybe as downloadable video or whatever we want, but please don't put it on the internet because, again, we're finishing the 2-hour pilot. We want to sell Space Command as a series, and so it's in everyone's best interest to not get it out into the world where it can be pirated, etc. But we will get you the first half hour in the next few months, and then we're going to have a crowdfunding campaign to raise the money to finish the first 2 hours, and then we're editing now the 30 minutes of the second 2-hour story that we shot. We're with James Hong and Ferran Tahir and John Hennigan, and we're going to be shooting the rest of that in the next few months. I got together with Ian McCaig, who designed Darth Maul and Queen Amidala and Rey in The Force Awakens. He's our designer on all of the Space Command characters, and so we were walking through the design of the interior of the alien ship in the second film, and it's going to be quite wonderful and amazing. And so Ian and I were going over that and also designing a very interesting alien, and so we'll be talking more about that very soon. But additionally, and again, the question of why do another crowdfunding campaign? The reason is we're now actively pitching Space Command as a series. We've been talking with Lionsgate and BBC and Channel 4 England, and we're setting a meeting with Amazon, and we're going to be going into Netflix. And in fact, today I'm leaving for London to have further meetings with a number of companies, and so we're moving very aggressively towards selling the show. But I don't want that to determine when we finish the first 2 hours for you guys. So we're moving actively to finish it, and the visual effect shots are looking spectacular. I'm very pleased. It's I think you're going to really love it. And in the meantime, Elaine's given me notes on the third 2-hour story, and I'm actively starting to rewrite that. And then there's the fourth one, and on and on and on. And there's a number of actors that I've been talking to that I want to bring into Space Command: Renee Aubergenois, Keira DeLay, many others. Sadly, many of you know we lost Richard Hatch, who was a friend of mine. I'd been wanting to put him into Space Command. He was in both versions of Battlestar Galactica. A wonderful guy, wonderful actor. Sadly, time caught up with us, and we won't be able to have him in Space Command, and that's very, very much a shame. So, but continuing to tell you what's going on. So in terms of the meetings here, the meetings in London, additionally, I'm starting to get some inroads into China. China wants to develop science fiction shows, and so there might be a co-production between America, England, China, etc. Again, we'll see. I'm not. I don't count on anything until it's so. But beyond this, We're also, working on the new edition of the Twilight Zone Companion. For those of you who are fans of Twilight Zone and who isn't, the new edition is going to have over 100 pages of new material. It's going to have hundreds of photos that haven't been in the book before, including photos from the show and color photos from the show, rare color photos, and photos that I took of the people I interviewed when I wrote the book when I was in my 20s. Ross Martin, William Wyndham, Keenan Wynn, Buck Houghton, Richard Matheson, George Clayton Johnson. Just amazing photographs, never published, never seen anywhere. There's photos from the Twilight Zone party that I threw when I finished writing the book, with directors and actors and writers and producers from the show, and Carol Serling as well. And we're going to have audio and video links to shows that Serling wrote in the 50s, commercials he did, lectures he gave, all sorts of stuff. It's amazing. And I just interviewed Jody Serling, Rod's daughter, and that interview, that new interview, is going to be in the book as well, because Anne, Rod's other daughter, has written a wonderful memoir about her dad, and Carol Serling, Rod's widow, has written a book, but Jody has not. And so this is Jody's take on her dad and the Twilight Zone. So phenomenal stuff. But meantime, Space Command is my life, and it's quite a wonderful journey. Now, the video that we've been putting together to help pitch the show, and also we'll be utilizing it for the crowdfunding, the new Kickstarter campaign, it's quite wonderful. It shows some shots from Space Command you haven't seen. It has some very renowned people speaking about Space Command. It's really fun. We're continuing to sell shares in Space Command. If you're interested in buying shares, all of that helps finish the visual effects and post. So contact me. It's just $7,500 for a share, and our investors are all around the world, and you'll get a percentage of my profits, my net profits in those episodes. And so it could work out very, very well when the show sells. And we won't be selling shares once the show sells. So now is the time if you've been interested in buying shares. And beyond that, we'll have the crowdfunding campaign, and feel free to reach out to me, marczicree@gmail.com, 323-363-1259. I'm always happy to talk to our backers and our friends. So that's it for now, and I'll probably also post this on my Mr. Sci-Fi YouTube channel, just so that everyone who's a fan and a backer and an investor in Space Command can see what we're up to, because I'm thrilled at what's happening and the progress, and we're getting there, guys. And thank you so much for all your patience and all of your encouragement. It means worlds to me. And it's funny, because with all the news in the world and all the difficulties people are having in the world and the fear in the world, a hopeful vision of the future is so important now, more than ever. And Rod, because I've been working on the new Twilight Zone Companion, just following in Rod's footsteps and seeing what he had to say about his times that is so current now, about how we have to reach across boundaries, how we have to reach out with compassion. I remember I was going through Rod's scrapbooks when I was working on the Twilight Zone Companion, and there was a photo of Rod with Martin Luther King, and I thought, well, these guys certainly would have had a lot to talk about and a lot in common. So that's what's going on now. I'm very glad I'm working on Space Command. It's funny, because even with the TV shows and the movies, there's the motto. I remember the Expanse. There's billboards all over town, and I'm the people who run that show are friends. And I was actually just at an event last night with the novelists who've been writing the Expanse, and Narayan Shankar, who's the showrunner. And I really applaud what they're doing. But their thesis is, and the ad line for the second season of the Expanse is, "The stars are better off without us." And their thesis is that mankind will tear things down, will tear itself apart, that we bring our problems with us, and it's just going to be an ugly future of people at each other's throats. And frankly, and I understand that point of view, and I don't necessarily disagree, but I have a much more hopeful vision, which is, that Star Trek promulgated, and many people were inspired by Star Trek, and Twilight Zone promulgated, that with all the darkness, all the hatred, all the fear, all the chance for chaos in the world, people can reach across with compassion, with love. You can make a world worth living in. You can make a better world. I strongly, strongly believe that. And so I'm glad that Space Command is a hopeful vision of the future. And I think that that's important to have that message. When it says the stars are better off without us, I don't believe that. I think if you look at space, miraculously, in the 50 or 60 years that we've been in space as a species, we have not armed space. You don't have nuclear weapons orbiting the Earth. You have people cooperating, even as we have our suspicions about Russia, and they have their suspicions about us, and all of that nonsense here on the planet. They're still up in the International Space Station, cooperating, communicating, doing science together. Space has managed miraculously to be a place where people do come together in peace to work together, to collaborate and cooperate. And I think possibly, I've been thinking about this, and it might be because space is such a dangerous environment. If you just, crack open a window, you die, and I think it's so dangerous out there that it puts us together as a species, because you can't screw around much in space. You'll die instantaneously. And so it makes us know how fragile we are and how much we need each other, and how much as a species, how frail we are, and but also how brave and how willing to go out into a new frontier and find out what's out there. That's what we've done ever since we started in Africa and wondered what was over the hill and went there. And now we're doing that in space. And with the 7 planets, the 7 Earth-like planets that have been discovered in around one dwarf star, it's amazing what's happening and amazing the possibilities. I think in the next few years we'll find evidence of life on another planet via the experiments that are being done now, and that will of course change everything once again. So thank you so much for everything in terms of Space Command. Make sure you check our emails, you answer them. Make sure you watch the Mr. Sci-Fi YouTube channel, and we'll be in touch very, very soon. Take care.